Happy New Year! In today's video, we're going to be talking about whether it is too late to start a Teachers Pay Teachers TPT business. And the quick answer is no. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, my name is Lorianne, and if you are new or returning, welcome. Here we talk about teacher side hustles. And again, Happy New Year. Hope your 2023 is off to a good start. It feels like January seems like a year long, doesn't it? I can't wait for it to be over. Anyways, let's talk Teachers Pay Teachers. If you are an existing Teachers Pay Teachers seller, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the shenanigans happening right now. You know what? My thing is wait till the dust settles. That's all I'm going to say right now. It's crazy. But for those of you who are interested in starting a Teachers Pay Teachers store and you're thinking, is it saturated? You know, what do I do? Can I possibly make money? Yeah, absolutely. You can totally make money. I think last week or the week before, Becca Davis announced on one of her income reports that she made over $100,000 on Teachers Pay Teachers in 2022. Now, Becca works hard. I've actually had an opportunity to do a video with her a year or so ago, and she's got books, she's got courses, right? She's got a podcast. She's one busy girl. But I also know another TPT seller who doesn't have any of those things, and she also made $100,000 in 2022. So it is not too late to be making really good money. I think nowadays you just have to have a good plan in place, okay? In fact, I made a list of things that I did that worked and some things that no one told me and I would recommend, okay? So let's just kind of go through them. First of all, just because of what's happening right now, ignore Facebook, okay? There's a lot of Facebook groups right now doing a lot of ranting. Just ignore them. Don't get onto those groups. I know the moderators of a lot of these Facebook groups are doing their best to keep everyone calm, but some of it's a knee-jerk, some of it's legitimate. But if you are thinking about it, don't read those kind of comments, okay? It can steal your thunder, and we don't want that happening, okay? And if you're like, what is happening? Don't worry about it. You'll find out eventually, okay? Here are a couple things. Number one, what would you like to create? Are you an elementary teacher? Are you a high school, middle school, homeschool, preschool, adult education? What would you like to create? Do you want to create printables? Do you want to create PowerPoints? Do you want to create videos? You know, write it down. In fact, you know, get yourself a little notebook from the dollar store, or I'm sure, you know, teachers, we always have notebooks somewhere around. But write down what you would like to create, okay? I mean, if you're thinking about Teachers Pay Teachers, you must be thinking, I could make this. Or, I've got this cool idea that nobody has. Wonder if it'd sell on Teachers Pay Teachers, right? Give it a go, honestly. Number two, and actually, when it comes to thinking about what you would want to sell, this was a tip I learned from making YouTube videos. Sit down and brainstorm at least 20, 30, even 40 products of what you would like to make. Just write them down. If you want to write, if you're a high school science, think of every possible little unit or study you want to focus on. Experiments, scientific right? Scientific method, atoms, the periodic table, whatever it is, right? Just write it all down. Maybe you don't know exactly, but still write down just everything off the top of your head that you would like to create. It makes it easier on yourself if you've got a good list. Because there's going to be times when you're going to be like sitting in front of the computer going, I don't know what to work on. Okay, we'll be honest here. Sometimes the motivation is not there. But if you've got a list in front of you of all these things that you want to do, it will help you a lot. So brainstorm a list, write everything down. And it doesn't have to be the same subject. It doesn't even have to be the same grade. Just get the ideas out of the brain. Okay? Write them all down. Because, this is one of these things that teachers are known for. We keep everything here, and it gives us anxiety. It gives us stress and all these things. Get it out. Just get it out. Okay? Write it down. And put it, and it doesn't have to be paper. Open up a Google Sheet or a Keynote, whatever, whatever, right? PowerPoint. Just get it out. Just, have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Try and have like half an hour to an hour of quiet and just power through it, okay? You may currently be a buyer, which is what I was. I was a buyer since 2012. And so you already have an account. If you don't have an account, I've got a video on how to set up an account. It's really easy. You may want to have a separate seller account from your buyer account. It's completely up to you. There's no requirements. You don't have to have separate things. Some people do have separate buyer and seller accounts, okay? But set up a basic seller account. Don't pay memberships. We're going to try and do this as free as possible for you to get you started. There are going to be costs, okay? A basic seller membership is free. I'll put a little chart on here somewhere. And if you don't have any sales, you don't have to worry about it. It's when you start getting sales, then I would highly recommend moving into a premium seller. $60 a year, but the fee difference is significant that you want to do something like that, okay? So just start with the basic. Just get yourself going. Don't worry too much about a catchy little name, because that can stop people right away. Just put your name on it, or something like primary resources or intermediate resource, science resources. Just get a name. Okay, just put something on, and again, your name is fine. Some of the biggest sellers on TPT are going by their name, so there is no advantage to having a business name. Okay, not in the algorithm or anything like that. If you have a name, great. Use your name. Use that name. Check out free clip art. Check out free fonts. You can choose whether you're going to use PowerPoint, Google Slides, Keynote, whatever you're comfortable with, and you can do things with. You can manipulate it. You can manipulate images, and you can do transparencies and all these little things and bolds and fun things. I personally love PowerPoint, but it's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. And PowerPoint does cost. Google Slides is free. Keynote, if you have a Mac, is free. So again, let's do it as reasonable as you can. Do not use Microsoft Word, okay? Not the document, okay? PowerPoint, if you're going to use that. I'm going to be making a video in a couple weeks on creating a product with PowerPoint, okay? So if you're just starting, that video is going to be really good for you. There is no one way to create products. Okay, we can give you suggestions, but you do you, okay? One of the things I'm not talking about in here, because this video could be hours long, is you're going to have to protect things. So if you use other people's clip art, if you use other people's fonts, you've got to protect them, okay? We call that flattening and securing, okay? That will probably cost you somewhere. But there's, again, ways around that you can do. Okay, but you won't need that until before you upload a product, okay? Right now we're talking about getting you started and getting that first product started. And just segueing into that first product. Teachers Pay Teachers requires that you put a freebie up as your first product. Now, what I personally would recommend is ignore that for just a minute. Make a product. And let's just say your first product is 10 pages long. Take 4 or 5 of those pages as a sample and upload that as your freebie. And that way, if people really like that, they'll buy your paid product. And ideally, if you've got a existing product and you're pulling out a few pages as a sample, you'll have that one so that you can upload your freebie and your paid almost at the same time. Okay? Yeah. Wish I'd known that. That would have been good. I'm going to be talking about freebies coming down. I think it's in February sometime, but we'll do that. When you've finished your product, if you are in the classroom, what I would do is I'd ask someone you trust and whose opinion matters to you to look at it. Just get someone's eyes on the product. Don't tell them you're selling on Teachers Pay Teachers. Can you just say, I've created this. What do you think about this? Would this be something that you would use? Hopefully they're going to be teaching the same grade or subject as you, right? But just get them to look at it and just give you an opinion. Maybe they'll say, it's kind of plain, right? These are little things you want to know, okay? So get some eyes on it and let them critique it a little bit for you. Now you can join a Facebook group. Okay, once you've got stuff going, join a Facebook group and find a Facebook group that is just about supporting you. And there are some really good ones. I have one, it's called Side Hustle Help for TPT, and boom, you're welcome to join it. You just have to answer the questions. And if you haven't started a TPT store, you write that in the comment. I haven't started one yet. Okay, so that we know your background and we can help you that way. And then you can even take screenshots from your product, put them on there and let us know we can tell you what we think of them if you want. You will do really well if you have some sort of mentorship or help with this journey. You can make a ton of money on Teachers Pay Teachers. There's strategies need to be involved. You can't just upload a product and expect everyone to buy it. I don't think those days exist anymore. But if you are known, if you are visible, like say you had 50,000 followers on Instagram that engage with you, if you post and said, I have uploaded something to TPT, you probably will get sales. But if you're like most teachers who have maybe a couple hundred to a couple thousand followers, it's not as easy as that. So if you can find a small mentor group or support group, and there are lots. And if you want to email me, the link to my Facebook group is down below here. But I can also, depending on what you want to do and what your niche is, I can also point you in the direction of some other ones, such as some high school teachers. Sorry, cats. I can point you towards science teachers, math teachers, right? Depending on what you need, okay? I don't know all the groups, but I know a lot of them. There are a lot more steps to all of this. This is just to get you going, okay? My last tip would be, don't tell anyone you're doing this. First of all, don't use any school-related equipment to do this. If you have PowerPoint at school, do not use their PowerPoint, okay? There have been issues of school districts finding out that teachers are using school stuff and they're going after them now. Just stay away from that. Have your own personal stuff. I didn't tell anyone I was selling on Teachers Pay Teachers until I had sales. Because when you're starting a new adventure, it's very exciting and you've got some adrenaline going, you're usually highly motivated, and you don't want anyone to steal that thunder. When you're deciding to do something like this, I wouldn't tell anybody unless you know for sure that they are going to support you. Okay? You need support. Don't do this alone. You do not have to do this alone. Okay? TPT can be a very cool endeavor, and there are other teacher marketplaces where you can sell Classful, made by teachers, Teacher Sherpa for freebies. You can sell on Etsy, right? There are other marketplaces that you can sell teacher resources or teacher type products. There's lots of information to learn, okay? Be teachable and expect to fail at things. I've failed multiple times, but it's part of the journey. It's part of growing, and you can do it. You really can do this, okay? And again, feel free to make comments down below if you are brand new. If you've got questions, pop them down below. Either me or someone else is going to answer them for you, okay? You can do this. And again, we're here to help you any way we can. Next week's video is actually going to be a follow-up from the teacher store reviews on custom categories. I had some questions about how do I make all these things in my custom categories on my store. It's actually pretty easy. I needed a piece of paper to do it out, but once I had it, it was no problem. Okay, so I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you a couple cool websites where you can get some neat little icons. One in particular, I was like, the moment I saw that one, I was like, hey, I'm using that one. Okay, but so I've just recently updated my custom categories, and I like them, and I'm going to still tweak them, but I'm much happier with the way they are right now. And then the following video is I'm going to be making a TPT product, a printable, okay, from scratch using PowerPoint. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you and your family are staying safe and you are having a great 2023. And I can catch you in that video or the Teachers Pay Teachers playlist. See ya.